Boogum now, baby, you're casting your spell on me. I say boogum now, baby, you're casting your spell on me. I just said
Hello, and welcome to Lyft with Express Drive. We are excited to have you here. Let's dive in and tell you what you need to know to start driving and earning with us. We want to let you know that Lyft is partnered with Hertz as our rental provider. You may hear us mention their name throughout this presentation. Today, we'll be covering these topics: the requirements to rent with Express Drive, how payment and billing works, and how to use the Lyft app. Now let's dive in. First things first, your weekly rental fee with Hertz will be $219 per week plus taxes and fees. Here's what you get: a mid-size car, unlimited miles to use for Lyft or personal use, along with insurance and standard maintenance. Let's start with the basic requirements of the Express Drive program. You can rent a car through Express Drive for as long as you need it, but you'll need to meet a few requirements in addition to your weekly rental fee. Let's go through these one by one. First, you'll have to give at least 20 rides a week. Rental requirements start fresh every week at 5 a.m. on Monday. You'll have until 4:59 a.m. the next Monday to complete your 20-ride requirement. Most drivers find that this is an achievable goal. A good way to get started is to try giving 5 rides today. This will give you a better idea of how you'll be able to reach the weekly 20-ride minimum. So what counts as a ride? This one is easy. Each completed pickup and drop-off equals 1 completed ride. A quick note, if you won't be able to reach the 20-ride minimum within the next 7 days, we recommend coming back to pick up your car during a week when you know you'll have time to reach the 20-ride minimum. We'll start a fresh count every 7 days. As long as you're in good standing, you can reserve a vehicle for a better time in the future, when you can drive and earn with Lyft. Your rental is also required for preventative maintenance, which includes your oil change. We recommend scheduling an appointment with an approved service provider to avoid long wait times. You can always find the nearest service provider by calling 800-654-5060, and remember, we will always let you know when it's time to get this done. As long as you give 20 rides a week and cover the weekly rental fee plus any additional taxes or fees, the term of your rental agreement will be automatically renewed every 7 days. You can return it whenever you want, more on that later, and you won't have to manage any weekly paperwork to keep renting. You can always see your progress towards the 20-ride minimum in your driver dashboard. A Lyft associate can help you find this in your app after the presentation. So to recap, make sure you stay on top of your progress towards the 20-ride minimum every week. Every so often, you'll need to bring your vehicle back to your original rental location. We'll check that your car is in good shape, renew your rental with our partners, and then you'll be back on the road earning money. If you need service for your rental sooner, please bring the vehicle here and we'll help you out. Finally, please remember that driving for any other rideshare or commercial use is strictly prohibited. Now that we know about the minimum requirements, let's talk about how pricing and billing works. Our billing cycle runs every 7 days and is different from your rental contract start and end date. The billing cycle runs from 5 a.m. Monday to 4:59 a.m. the following Monday. The most important day of the week to remember is Tuesday, your money day. You'll receive your earnings statement every Tuesday with a summary of how much you made driving with Lyft. For direct deposits, please allow 1 to 2 days after for payments to process. Your weekly rental fee will come out of your earnings, as well as any additional costs like tolls and taxes. Need money right away? Access your cash with the tap of a button, anytime you need it. Once you've covered your rental fee plus taxes, you'll see Express Pay unlocked in your earnings tab. And remember, there is a 50-cent fee when you use Express Pay. You'll need to have a debit card set up to use Express Pay. A Lyft associate can help you set this up in your app after the presentation. To view your earnings statement, you'll go to your dashboard located in the main menu, followed by selecting driver history in the dashboard menu. Here's an example of what your earnings statement will look like. Your earnings section will show you all that you made, including tips and canceled earnings. The section labeled Rental Details shows a breakdown of your weekly rental charges, taxes, and any fees. You can expand the fees and taxes to view a comprehensive breakdown. And lastly, if you earned any bonuses such as rental rewards, those will be listed under bonus details. If your earnings do not cover the weekly rental cost, we'll charge the credit or debit card on your account for the remaining amount. Make sure you have a valid card on file with enough to cover the full week's rental cost to avoid failing a charge. Located in the main menu, select the tab labeled Pay or Payment Info. Next, you'll tap on the Payment Methods section where your credit or debit card on file is located. You'll want to be sure that the payment method on file is valid and has the necessary funds to cover charges or fees that you may incur from Lyft. If you start renting on a day other than Monday, we'll prorate your first week's rental fee. There's also a 7-day minimum commitment with Express Drive, so you'll be required to cover your first $219 payment no matter what, even if you return the car after 2 days. And that's how billing works. Now, let's talk through how to get the most out of your rental. Alright, review time. Let's walk through how all of these pieces of the Express Drive program come together. Let's dive in and take a look at your first month of renting with Express Drive. Here are some key takeaways to remember. Your first week is prorated based on the day you start. Then after the first week, the rental cost will be $219 plus taxes. Your pay cycle and 20 ride minimum are from 5 a.m. Monday to 4:59 a.m. the following Monday. And remember, your 20 ride minimum is prorated as well for the first week and resets the following Monday at 5 a.m. Finally, let's talk about returning your Express Drive rental. One of the best parts of Express Drive is that it doesn't have any long-term commitments. You can return your car at any time after your first 7 days. Just be sure the rental is returned in good condition, or you may be subject to additional charges. Be sure to return your rental to this location and check in with a Lyft associate so we can make sure everything is buttoned up. Though not required, you can schedule a return anytime in the Vehicles tab of your dashboard. Please note, scheduling a return alone will not prevent charges for your rental. You are charged for any day the rental is in your possession. As long as you've hit the 7-day minimum, you'll only be charged for the days you had the vehicle. Also, please make sure you complete your 20 ride minimum before returning to remain in good standing. Upon rental return, if necessary, your rental deposit will be used to cover any outstanding payment obligations like damages or failed charges. If it's not needed to cover any additional costs, we will return the full amount within 2 weeks of your return, usually by the next earnings date. Accountability. If for any reason you are unable to meet the 20 ride minimum or cover the cost of your rental payment, please return the vehicle. We get it. Life happens. There's no shame in returning your vehicle. At Express Drive, we want to do everything we can to avoid costly vehicle recovery fees and permanent deactivation from the Express Drive program. Please be sure to always be on the lookout for any emails or texts from us, and always do your best to follow any directions as soon as possible.
People everywhere are going places. Going fast, flying solo, cruising with friends. Rides may look different, but when people go places with Lyft, safety is built into every ride.
I appreciate the rating system because it shows me that other passengers have rated the driver before, so I know that I'm getting a reliable, safe driver.
Two-way ratings allow drivers and passengers to provide feedback. Our team monitors feedback and offboards drivers who don't maintain a high enough rating. Our critical response line is available for emergencies 24 hours every day. And our $1 million auto insurance policy provides drivers and their passengers with additional coverages. When people go places, rides may look different, but every Lyft ride has safety built in, so people can focus on the places they're going and leave it up to Lyft to make sure safety is always a part of going there.
At Lyft, safety is of paramount importance. Be sure to be careful when merging during pickups and drop-offs. Yield to oncoming traffic when turning left. Follow the rules and yield the right-of-way to pedestrians and oncoming traffic. We recommend using a phone mount so you can keep your eyes on the road. Don't multitask or drive tired. And avoid texting while driving. Did you know that sending a text message while driving 55 miles per hour is like driving blindfolded for the length of a football field? Finally, stay within the legal minimum and maximum speed limits for roadways and adjust your speed depending on the road conditions. Now, when we get you out to your rental vehicle, you will find a guide located in your glove box that we like to call the Just In Case Guide. If you are ever in an accident, need an oil change or major repairs, or have questions about your insurance, you will find those answers here. For roadside assistance, you will also find the 800-654-5060 number here as well. And remember, they are available 24/7, 365, whenever you need them. Safety is our number one priority. We encourage you to drive defensively to keep you and your passengers safe. While we hope you never experience one, accidents do happen. In the event you are in an accident, please be sure to do the following. Make sure you and your passengers are safe. Dial 911 if necessary. Report the accident in your help section of your driver app and tap Report an Accident, regardless of fault. Be sure to get photos of the third party's information, such as insurance card, license plate, and driver's license. If the vehicle is safe to drive, bring it back here to Express Drive. We'll do an inspection, and we do take note of what we see until our insurance team has completed their inspection. If your vehicle needs to be towed, refer to your just-in-case insert for Hertz roadside assistance. Please note, having your rental towed will not prevent charges for your rental. You are charged for any day the rental is in your possession. Return to your rental location to ensure your rental has been ended following the accident. Don't worry, all of this is in the handout you'll receive with your rental. Regardless of fault with regards to damage to the vehicle, upon return, you are responsible for up to the $1,000 deductible until we complete an investigation and determine liability. If you're found to not be at fault, we'll refund you when the investigation is complete and the at-fault party has paid. The deductible remains the same, whether it occurs on personal time or while online driving for Lyft. For more information and for more questions, please ask a Lyft associate after the presentation. The $1,000 deductible is per incident, as permitted by applicable law. Now here are some need-to-know policies that will directly impact you as a driver. Lyft is a zero-tolerance company. This means that no drugs, no open container alcohol, and no weapons of any kind are permitted in the rental vehicle. Even if you have a permit to carry, the answer is always no. This goes for the driver as well as the passenger. When it comes to underage passengers, Lyft has a policy for that as well. Anyone under the age of 18 are welcome to ride with a parent and/or legal guardian. However, they are not permitted to ride alone in a ride. It is against the law and against Lyft policy. Lyft's car seat policy. When it comes to small children or infants that need a baby seat or booster seat, the parent and/or legal guardian must provide one for them in order to ride in the vehicle. If the passenger does not have one, you are not allowed to take them. Do not provide one and do not install the seat yourself. Our next policy is in regards to service animals. Lyft's policy and the law require all drivers to accept service animals regardless of allergies, fear of animals, and religious or cultural objections. Refusing a ride to someone with a service animal may lead to permanent deactivation on the Lyft platform. For wheelchairs, it is a Lyft policy to accept passengers who use wheelchairs to get around. If it can be safely and securely stored in the car's trunk or back seat without obstructing the driver's view, it's allowed. And last, but certainly not the least, Lyft's anti-discrimination policy. Discrimination of any kind is not allowed and may result in the offender's immediate deactivation from the platform. For more information about safety, please visit lyft.com/safety. To sum it all up, let's talk about some quick things to remember. Smoking is not allowed in any vehicle. Rentals will generally be allowed on tollways. However, please be sure to check with your Express Drive location for more information. Remember, with this rental vehicle, you are only allowed to drive for Lyft. You are strictly prohibited from driving for any other rideshare or delivery service. And don't forget, you're responsible for tolls, citations, admin fees, or other fees outlined in the rental contract and any unauthorized tows or impounds. And that's it. We're done with the Express Drive portion of the onboarding presentation. Thanks for watching. Welcome. Now it's time to walk you through how driving with Lyft works with the driver app. Now that you've learned the ins and outs of Express Drive, let's talk about how to drive with Lyft, starting with how to give a ride. Once you're in your car and open the app, the first thing you want to do is turn the volume on your phone all the way up so that you can hear both the Lyft app and your GPS directions. Tap up here to go online and receive ride requests. When you receive a request, that means that you're the driver who is closest to the passenger's pickup location. Now, waiting for that first ping can be a bit nerve-wracking for new drivers. It can be immediate, or you may need to wait a little. This is totally normal, so make sure you get real comfy in that seat, settle in, and turn on some good music. Let's take a step back for a minute and discuss about some important things to get you ready for your first ride. One of which is your Lyft amp, which a Lyft associate will help you set up when it's time. Soon, everyone will notice you're driving around town. When you're ready for your first ride, please make sure you have the following ready to go: a phone mount, phone charger, your Lyft amp connected to your driver app, and some awesome tunes for the road. And one last thing before we jump into your first ride. It is important to remember that you are only allowed to be online driving with Lyft for up to 14 hours at a time, after which you'll be required to stay offline for at least 6 hours. Even if you take a break here and there, your 14-hour timer is still running, unless that break is at least 6 hours long, to the second. Ask a Lyft associate more about this after the presentation. You hear that? That sound means you've got a ride request. Now you've got 12 seconds to accept the ride by tapping accept. You can see your passenger's photo and rating here, as well as any bonus details and the ride type. Once you accept the ride, the passenger will be able to see your photo, vehicle info, amp color when connected, and an estimated time of arrival. So let's go ahead and accept the request. Tap the navigation arrow at the top of the screen to guide you to the passenger's pickup location. You'll always see the estimated time of arrival on your screen. Once you get to your location, just tap to arrive. Simple as that. This will notify the passenger that you're outside waiting for them. The passenger then has 5 minutes to enter your vehicle. If you're stuck in traffic or can't find your passenger, you can call your passenger before the 5-minute countdown is up by tapping the phone icon. Don't worry, they won't see your real number. Your number is always masked. If your passenger doesn't pick up the phone or show up on time, you can then mark your passenger as a no-show and we will collect a fee from them, which is all yours. Don't forget, you must at least try to contact your passenger and wait the full 5 minutes to collect a fee. But let's say your passenger has arrived on time and is now in your car. They'll appreciate it if you greet them by name. It is also good to confirm their destination. If they haven't entered it into the app or changed their destination during the ride, either you or your passenger can enter it at any time. Now, just tap Pick Up. This is your time to interact with your passenger and provide a great customer service experience. You can ask them how their day is going and match their energy of their response. If they're being extra friendly and strike up a conversation, you can do the same. If they're staying quiet or are on their phone, no problem, no need for chatter. Once you reach your destination, it's a good idea to turn on your hazard lights so that fellow drivers know you're stopping. It's also best to pull over in a safe, clear spot from traffic and any other illegal zones like the ones you see here. Now, once the passenger has safely exited the vehicle with their belongings, you can tap the drop-off button to proceed to the ride summary screen. Now that your ride's done, you'll see how much you earned on the ride. Tips are accounted for separately. You and your passenger have the opportunity to rate the ride by tapping on the star button and giving a rating on a scale of 1 to 5 stars, with 5 being the best. You can share your feedback right after the ride, or any time in the next 24 hours when it's convenient for you. 5 stars is the most common rating for passengers. This means that the ride went smoothly. You won't get matched again if you rate 3 stars or less. Be sure to leave a comment, especially for the 1 to 3 star ratings, so our trust and safety team can address the concern or issue. Your passengers can also rate you on the same scale. You'll want to keep your average rating high. Anything more than a 4.8 is awesome. If your ratings dip too low, you might be at risk of deactivation. Your weekly summaries flags and feedbacks are a good indicator of where to improve if your rating ever starts to drop. Don't worry though, we always want to help you keep your rating high. Common flags are safety, cleanliness, friendliness, and navigation. You can always contact support in the app or visit your local driver support location for ways to improve your rating. There are 2 different ride types that renters are eligible for. The first one is called Lyft Standard. This is where the requesting passenger and up to 3 accompanying passengers can ride with you. The other ride type that renters are eligible for is called Lyft Shared. This ride type still fits up to 4 passengers, but they can be multiple parties as seen here. With Lyft Shared rides, there can be 1 to 2 people per pickup, with only 90-second wait times instead of the usual 5 minutes, and there can be multiple pickups along the same route. As long as you follow the route your app is telling you, you will always see your next move. The best part about Lyft Shared is that each individual pickup counts as an individual ride. Please ask a Lyft associate at your Express Drive location if Lyft Shared is available in your market after the presentation. One last thing we have to cover: airport rides. These rides tend to be longer and therefore have a higher value. but there are also a few things you've got to remember when giving a passenger a ride to or from the airport. Some airports require that you have a permit to pick up or drop off. Most airports also have a TNC, or Transportation Network Company lot, for you to park and wait for your turn in the queue to pick up a passenger. Please ask a Lyft associate at your Express Drive location for more information regarding airport pickups and drop-offs in your city, as well as any additional things you may need to be prepared. And that's all there is to it. You have successfully made it through the onboarding orientation. Congrats! Please feel free to ask the Lyft associate any additional questions you have that takes you to your rental. Thank you for your time, and we'll see you on the road.